You're in for a rough one today. This video has no cohesive thought. I'm sorry. I said what I said on Twitter and I mean what I said. Poppy is a bad bitch you can't kiss. Hi, hello. I just finished From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L Armentrout and I'm not okay. Let's get into this, shall we? I've been saying for the longest time,
I want a trashy vampire werewolf romance.
Right? I got it, but it wasn't trashy. It was smutty. There was smut. But it wasn't like bad like Twilight or Alpha and Omega. It was good. It was fantastic. It was everything I wanted and more. How do I explain this book? Go into it knowing nothing, obviously. That's my main thing that I say when I talk about fantasy. Our main character, Poppy. Poppy is the chosen one and she's a maiden. So far, we really don't know what being a maiden is, aside from your sacrifice to the gods, which, child, if I don't know what I'm sacrificing myself for, why I gotta do what you tell me to do? Get into it, sis. I protect my own, and Poppy is now mine. She is my kin. Do not harm her, do not cross her, because she will get you, and I will record and say, World Star! If you were there for the World Star days, a real one. Then we have Hawke, is our HBIC head bitch in charge, and he wants to get to know our little murderous creature intimately. If you like political intrigue, if you want a romance, if you loved Sarah J. Maas books, it's better. Don't come for me, it's better. Where do I begin with what I just consumed in like a day? I did this via audiobook. Yes, I spent money on the physical book and got the audiobook because the day that this is supposed to come in, it was 15 days on back order. So I was like, okay, I want to read it now. So I used my 1 credit to get the book. You're judging me. I don't need the judgment. I know what I did was wrong in your eyes. But do you pay my bills? Do you have my credit? Nope, mind your business. I love the narrator. Oh my God, how many times can I gush over this book? This video has no cohesive thought. I'm sorry. I usually plan out my videos and do a draft and write and have thoughts. No thoughts, head empty. If you thought my Exile book talk was chaotic, you're in for a rough one today. Poppy's our maiden and she has to sacrifice herself to the gods and do this ascension. The ascension, from what I can tell, is kind of like the harvest from the originals. And essentially they sacrifice themselves over and become vampires. In this book, not in the originals. This book, the ascension is the vampirism. You're turning into a vampire. You have your blood drained from you to the brink of death, and then you take the blood from the vampire. You get it. We've all seen Vampire Diaries, haven't we? I assume. We don't know that till the end of the book. Poppy is just like, I'm the maiden, the gods exist, the gods choose me, or they chose me because I'm worthy, yada yada. But it's this plot twist where the ascended are the bad guys, and the Wolven, which we assume were extinct, they're real, and they're the good guys in this book. And Hawke is our residential werewolf, whom so we have this world that Jennifer L Armentout is building along gradually, and fantasy takes some time, we get it. But with this book, we learn as we go along, as we typically do when I'm talking about Tianna, but we really don't know our world to the ending of this book. And that was the big plot twist cliffhanger that I was here for, and I loved it so much. Poppy is restricted to staying in her room, just like I am during quarantine, but she's restricted to her room because the maiden / chosen one is required to read such text, is required to do nothing in her life aside from covering her face and sitting pretty. Is limited to her who she can associate with and talk to. She's limited to the Duke, her bodyguard, and her lady in waiting. Sorry, I just got a DM. Whew, Poppy has had a tragedy of life. The Duke of her like township abuses her. He takes a cane, and the lessons that she's required to go to are him verbally abusing her, and then her self-esteem is just knocked down like consistently over the past like what, 8 years or so? I don't even know, because I don't know when she was chosen. I probably should have paid more attention to detail with that one. But Poppy has been living here with the Duke, and he's just constantly hitting her, verbally accosting her, which no, it's not okay. And when Hawke finds out, he's like,
what are the lessons? Poppy, what are the fucking lessons? Tell me. I protect you. I'm protecting you at all costs.
Because for Hawke, he has a stake in this game with Poppy. Poppy is the key for everything right now. At least that's what I know. Poppy wants to tell the queen, like, hey, the Duke is verbally accosting me and he's hitting me. Can we change something? And now that we know that they're vampires, she's probably not ever going to help Poppy. Because the way that this kingdom is set up, everything's beyond the veil right now. The kingdom is beyond the veil of what their true nature is, and the mortals are just like, yeah, we'll sacrifice our kids, we'll give you our kids because they're the chosen ones for the gods and they have a life in the god city. It's very complex, this world, but maybe it's not too complex. After it was explained at like the ending of this plot twist, I was like, oh, it makes sense now. But me explaining it, I'm not very articulate. Sorry. Poppy's lived a sheltered life and she's very aware of her shelteredness. So was her one of her bodyguards, Victor. I was in Rachel's DMs on Twitter and I was like, can I DM you while I read this book? She's like, yeah, sure, of course. So I was digging right now. I was like, I don't like Victor. Victor is just, he's and then he grew on me, and then of course when you grow on me, you can't just die right now. She needs you the most. You can't just, when the world needed him most, he vanished. Yeah, that was Victor. Victor's the avatar in this book. He just vanished. Well, he's dead as hell. That was her father figure. And also for Victor, she was his daughter. His wife had passed away some years ago and he never had a daughter, and it was just a found family. And I was just like, no. This was after the fact that one of her like brother-like figures in the book had died. It was like the first 50 chapters, I think. I did an audiobook, so I don't know. And I was like, we just killing Rylan like that? But then now we know that Rylan was only killed for Hawke to make his way into the royal guard and be her personal guard. Which now that we think about it, I'm like, okay, we don't know who Hawke is. When I say we, the royal guard, do not know who Hawke is, his background, what's his stake in this game in watching Poppy when he's new. He's HBIC, he's in HBIC, he's new head bitch in charge. Who are you? What are you doing here? Why is Poppy so important to you? And that's what I was thinking this entire book. And then the moments, okay, we have this opening like moment of Poppy in this brothel. The lady's like, go in this room. You'll be safe here. And then of course, Hawke is like, hey honey, and they kiss. I said what I said on Twitter and I mean what I said. Poppy is a bad bitch you can't kiss at all. And I even tweeted out, I was like, Cardi B, come teach my girl Poppy some moves. She can't fuck either. And Poppy's only like 18 in this book, and I was like, oh my god, she's a year younger than me, and she has more interaction with the male species than I ever will. So, must be nice. We're in this brothel, and she's kissing up on Hawke, and he's like, you're not who I thought you were. If you were, you would have my tongue down your throat. And I'm like, no. Stop forcing your tongue down people's throats. It's a kiss. It is a titillation of the mouth, not the tongue. Stop it. It's disgusting. And throughout this book, we develop our relationship with Poppy and with Hawke while also discussing the way this world is set up, in the sense that the Atlanteans are fighting with the Ascended, and it's just this clashing, ongoing war of who will land on top. And then also the dissenters. The dissenters are very unhappy of the Ascended because they're like, no, you're taking our children when you haven't done the work to take care of our children. We have. The 9 months I had my baby in my stomach, what did you do? Give me a round of applause and that was it. I breastfed my child to the age of maturity and you're telling me you want me to take my child away? Nuh-uh, sis. And also just the way that the Ascended have the hierarchy in this society, and the dissenters like, no, we don't need this. We're just equal people in general. Let's go, what's popping? And the way that the Ascended keep the mortals and the dissenters in check is the Craven. The Craven are mortals that turn into vampires gone wrong. So zombies, essentially. It's done so subtly, you're just like, oh wow, it's not another teenage drama. It's like a drama with political intrigue. Dare I say it's good. It actually is good. Chef's kiss. We stand. We love. It was just such a breath of fresh air after reading A Discovery of Witches, which I did at the second book. It was just a waste of my time when I can be reading good books like this. You feel me? So after this party is over and we're just in shock of the Duke dying, the Duchess is like, yeah, you gotta go. Bye. We're talking too much about the Darkling and we're talking too much about the Atlanteans, that he had to have been a spy, had to have been the Darkling himself, or he had to have been a vampire, because the way that Armentrout had set up the vampires, I was like, okay, maybe he's a Craven. Like maybe he's a mutated Craven that can be a person. Maybe he's a vampire. Because we had never touched on the wolves. I was like, oh my god, this is happening. I love this. It was just so well done. Thank you, Jennifer L Armentout. I love the subtlety and then the big reveal. I stand. we love. It wasn't a waste of space trying to just like get our characters to finally like have sex. No, it was building up to living in the society, needing to change the society, needing to be aware of our surroundings, and wanting to be and needing to be a badass character who defends herself and also thinks of others first and then herself later. And she has this cool power, but also it's lame because it hasn't matured yet. I'm waiting for her to mature. She's an empath. That's what I want to say. She can feel emotions, but she can feel pain, and she's slowly but surely getting her power to develop into feeling terror, feeling anger, and other things. Ready to see her develop and flourish into the princess that she is. Oh, and also, big shocker, she's half Atlantean. So her brother, that's in the capital and is probably a vampire, yeah, he's her half brother. She's his half sister, and she's half Atlantean. Meaning, I don't know. It left on a cliffhanger. It literally left on the cliffhanger of Hawke to Poppy. Yeah, we're getting married. We're gonna go home and get married. I have no idea what to expect. But this first book, it's just, I just keep saying it's fantastic. I love how Poppy's just aware of herself and she's always on her toes. But when she's not on her toes, she finds a way to make it into the situation back into her hands. And then the smut. I was promised a lot of smut in this book, okay? I got like 3 scenes. So I was told it gets better in book 2. Living vicariously through my book characters, as always. And then we have this discussion of the Darkling because Hawke, who is Castile, is the brother of Malik or Malik. I can't remember how to pronounce it. They want to restore their spot on the throne. They need to take down an army of vampires, of Ascended, and take over the throne. And he also wants to restore his honor in his brother and his family because his brother sacrificed himself to get him out of the temple. The temple is where the high priestesses of the Ascended take the children that the mortals have to give up to feed the Ascended. And it's kind of like this blood enslavement, which, the way that the Ascended turn into vampires, they have to use the blood of the Atlanteans. Keep saying I loved it because I loved it. This is literally a gushing video. I'm sorry. But deal with it, okay? This is what you signed up for when you clicked on this video, okay? I'm excited to see more of Castile. I want to know more about Castile. This book was written in first person, so hopefully our character, I want her to hate him a little bit more, but the hate sex is good, not gonna lie. So she never grew her fangs because she is half Atlantean. They only grow their fangs or become full-blooded Atlanteans, or they don't mature into Atlanteans until they go back on their home soil. So please comment down below your thoughts, your opinions, your theories about this book and about the series, because I low-key want a 5-book series. Jennifer, can we do it, please? I don't want to let go of Poppy and Hawke and Castile. Hawke and Castile are 2 different people. I don't care what you have to say. They're 2 different people at this point. Sorry for this ranting type video. It was all over the place. I'm sorry, but not sorry at the same time. That just goes to show you how much I feel about this book and this character. Because we really don't know Castile. We know Hawke. He's the royal guard, protects Poppy, also wants to have sex with Poppy. And that's really it. We don't know Castile / Darkling / the heir to the throne. Can't wait to get to know him. I love chatting with you all. So please, don't be a stranger in the comments. I am filming my Lovecraft Country breakdown video as we speak. I will catch you in the next one. Bye!